Hello everyone and welcome to Stitching Ain't Easy. My name is Ashley. Thank you so very much for joining me today. If y'all are new, hello. If y'all have been here, hello. Hope y'all are doing well. So, okay. I went to Joann the other day, which is exciting. And so I have a couple of things to show you from there. A couple of things one of the skeins of yarn I've already made some things out of, so I guess I have that to show you also. And then just like some ramblings, as we do. Also, today is currently Sunday. It's September 17th, it's Derek's birthday. But yeah, it's Sunday, so on Friday is whenever I got this stuff. Went to Joann. I'll tell you all about why we were even around to Joann. And then yesterday, which was Saturday, we met up with my mom and she brought me some more yarn. So tomorrow there will be a whole other yarn video. So that's exciting. So, okay. So we, as most of you know, homeschool. We live about an hour from Bentonville, Arkansas. And in Bentonville, Arkansas, if you ever get the chance to, trust me, you'll want to do this. If you like art and cool things, I feel like most of us probably do. There's a place called Crystal Bridges, and it is just like the coolest thing. Whenever we've been there before, and they were highlighting the artist Chihuly. He does like glass art and things, and there's like a little outdoor part where you can walk around and all that. And so we like walked through there, and there was glass art pieces, ginormous, beautiful things all over. It was absolutely magical. This time I got an email about homeschool days, and it said that we can go for free and all that. And so we were very excited. So we went. Starting yesterday, they had Annie Leibovitz was going to be like the main person, like the highlighted artist, and we were there a day early, and I was pretty bummed. So anyway, so I didn't get to see all of her things. I got to see a couple of things, which was just really, really cool to me because I love photography. So anyway, yes, so we went and did that. I will tell you all a little bit more about that here in a minute. So we did that. It was a day and stuff. I'll tell you about it afterwards. We had a little bit of time. The kids wanted to go to Joann and the game store, so that's where we went. Actually, we went to Vintage Stock because the game store was across the other thing. It was a whole deal. So anyway, but first we went to Joann because my kids like art things too, and Finn is going to make a tutu, like a little, like a all with the frilly, the whole, and it's a tutu for one of Miss B's little dudes. She has the Riddler action figure and she needs a tutu for him, and so Finn purchased like the tulle and the pink stuff, everything to make that. So he was so excited, she's so excited. It's adorable. So anyway, I have been wanting to make, and I've mentioned this 100 times now for craft fairs, I've been wanting to make things for like some chicken nuggets because I had just worsted weight that I used last time. I want to make like thicker chicken nuggets. I made the pickles last time. Everyone loved the pickles. No one bought a pickle. I don't understand. Like everybody was like, I need a pickle, and then they'd find something else. I don't know. But anyway, I wanted to get, because I used this dark green that I thought was right there, but it's not. This mysterious, magical dark green that doesn't exist. Anyway, I used the dark green to make the pickles, and I was going to use it to make frogs. And then I decided that it might be too dark for frogs. It was more of a pickle color. So I wanted to get something for for frogs this time whenever we went. I really didn't want to get anything because yarn is so dadgum expensive. As I mentioned, right now it's Sunday. I'm going to upload this video as soon as I'm done. I don't know when y'all are going to watch it. Hopefully while it's still happening. I don't know if it's even still happening now. But the Bernat yarn, all of it except for the Bernat Extra, which is like the big thick yarn, like even the fleece and all of those things that are normally like $11.99 were on sale for $8.99 at Joann. And also big twist yarn was on sale for like $2.49, I think, which is a decent deal. It's, you know, still more than we were all paying at one point, let's be honest, but it's a decent deal. So we went, I got 3 skeins of yarn, and that is all, because I was just like, oh, it's y'all know how it is, it's crazy. So first things first, I picked up this, which I was so excited because I've been wanting one of these for a really long time. There's this color and there's that tomato color that I'm just like in love with, but I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna make out of a tomato color other than a tomato. So yeah, I mean probably like a dinosaur or something, but anyway. So I got Bernat Baby Blanket Sparkle because it has bling in it and it's lime green and sparkly. It's so good. So got that. This is the color Limeade Sparkle. It's a super bulky 6. Suggest you use an 8mm, whatever you're into, whatever your hobby is, knitting or crochet. I use my 9mm with this when I make amigurumi. 100% polyester, just like all other Bernats. 220 yards, 201 meters, 300 grams. So yes, Bernat Sparkle. There you go, baby sparkle, I suppose. But anyway, it's just so cute. So I thought this would be really cute for some of the little fat frogs with little eyes on top. So that is my plan for this. Then I found, here we go, this. So they have the big twist yarn that is comparable to the Bernat yarn. Let's see. Not quite. You know what? No, it isn't. I thought it was. Like, it's almost, you can tell a difference with the yarn. Like this one I feel is more like sturdy. This is kind of a flimsier yarn. I thought that even whenever I picked it up. I thought this had the same amount of yardage, but it doesn't. So this retailed for $7.99, which is what I paid for it. 100% polyester, big twist, plush, 153 yards. So this one has 220 yards, 153. So normally $11.99 on sale for $8.99. This one was $7.99. Had I known that there weren't as many, I would have probably got these, but honestly, there wasn't really this brown in that. So I got this because I was thinking chicken nuggets. And then we all discussed that it's probably way too dark for chicken nuggets. I can't quite find like the perfect chicken nugget color. I don't know why. Anyway, 153 yards, 10.5 ounces, 140 meters, 300 grams. This is, let's see, I suggest you use an 8mm, once again, whatever the heck you're into. 6, super bulky. Does it have a color? It's the color cardamom. So yeah. Anyway, I thought that this would be a good chicken nugget, and it's really not. It's kind of dark for a chicken nugget. I made 2 in the car on the way home because like I said, it's a ways for us to get to like the city regardless of how we go. It's the same distance no matter. We have 3 options of like big towns we can go to. They're all the same distance away. So anyway, I made 2 chicken nuggets. I didn't sew the ends in because I don't do that until the very end. But these are my chicken nuggets. And they're okay, but they're just not quite chicken nugget colors. So I did the little kawaii eyes and stuff. So yeah, like a bigger nug and a smaller little chicken nug, which I thought they were cute, but they're just not quite the right color. So then we were in the car and I told the kids that to me it kind of looks like a teddy bear, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna throw this, that's where my wet bag is. All right, so anyway, I told them that this to me kind of looks like a teddy bear, and they were like, yeah, it does. And so now, my friends, I'm working on a teddy bear. So this is what I have so far. So this is a pattern. Its head's still kind of weird. I just finished like stuffing and putting the eyes in. This is a pattern by Super Gurumi. I've done several of their patterns. The koala that I make is theirs. I've done the other teddy bear. There's a couple other things I can't remember. But they have really cute patterns. They in theirs usually use like a 2.5 or a 3mm hook and then little bitty tiny yarn. I just do the exact same pattern that they do, but I use my 9mm hook and like a thick yarn, and it turns out just fine every time. They're about this big and they're adorable. So this is the teddy bear. He's gonna have like a little, he has like a mouth and all those things, and his little arms and legs and stuff still to go, but that's what I have so far. I think he's gonna be way better as a teddy bear. I don't know if I have enough to make two. I may just have to make some more chicken nuggets or something. I don't know. Maybe some pet rocks. I don't know. But yeah, they take a lot of yarn. I do know that from the koalas, that they take a lot of yarn. So hopefully I'll have enough, because like I said, I have the rest of his little body and his legs and his arms still to make. His little mouth is going to be a different color, but anyway. All right. So I got the green one for frogs, the one for nugs didn't work out, making a bear. Then we were just walking around and I found this one. So also Big Twist plush, but y'all, oh, it's so good. It's so good. So, all right, 100% polyester. This is the color Tutti Frutti, which reminds me of the movie House of a Thousand Corpses. Or no, it's the other one. But anyway, all right. It's the second one. But, all right. So it has like this pretty navy green, my gosh. This pretty navy kind of royalish blue. White, pretty magenta, orange, yellow, like a seafoam green, sunshine yellow, seafoam green. Lots of really pretty colors in there. And I want to make a dinosaur out of this one, because the dinosaurs are a big hit. My dinosaur pattern is by Rose and Lily. She has a tutorial here on the YouTubes, and then also she has like a blog, and it's on there, like a written pattern. But yeah, it's really cool how she does hers though. Up in the corner she does like a little thing that's like tells you basically what you do on row 1, and it gives you the written instructions, so you can kind of just go through and write it down, and then you have it. So like at craft fairs, I don't have to look back and stuff. I can just sit there and make those patterns, which is really fun. But yeah, so I thought this out of a little, like into a little chunk, like chunky little dinosaur would be so cute. And I have this blue. Everything's gonna fall over. Please don't fall over. Or you know what, just you do you and you fall over, and that's okay. I thought maybe that it's kind of a little bit different, but I thought this for the spikes might be kind of cool. And then I thought maybe white, and I have yellow. Yellow is probably a better color to do, just because that might make it pop a little bit more, so I don't know. It's not gonna stay up there. Perfect. Okay, so anyway, so yeah, Tutti Frutti for dinosaurs and such. And then whatever, like a little octopus would be cute. A squid would be adorable out of this, but like I said, I thought dinosaur, so that's what we're gonna go with. So anyway, dinosaur, frogs, and teddy bears and chicken nuggets. So that's what I got. Like I said, and then we met, well, like I said, and then Finn got stuff for the Riddler's outfit. He's gonna look too cute. Get him a tattoo, get him a tutu. And then yesterday, yeah, like I said, we met my mom, so I have some more yarn to share with y'all tomorrow, which is really exciting. But yeah, I know this is the sparkle, but this one I guess is just regular brunette. Let's just do that. Even in these, because this is brunette blanket, I don't know, like this one's nice, the big twist, but like I didn't realize that the yardage was that much different, because this one, yeah, also 153 yards. This one kind of feels thicker than this one on this, so I don't know, but I guess it just kind of depends. if it's a sparkle or whatever, but kind of to compare. Let's do solids. Let's do that for like a fair comparison. Let's do like our scientific process the way you should, right? All right, so this is a solid. This is a solid. Maybe. I feel like the brown in that is thicker, but I feel like this one and this is more sturdy. This one just feels like a little thin thread kind of in there with some fuzz around it. This one feels like there's fuzz all the way around it. So just kind of whatever your preference, I guess. The big twist yarn works up really well. I've had no issues at all. It works like Bernat to me. So yeah, it's just whatever your preference is, I suppose, as far as that. So yeah, so I have, like I said, some more yarn to show you all tomorrow, and things, which will be a lot of fun. I got a coupon. Got me a coupon for 25% off my purchase or free shipping. So that's cool. That'll work. And then another one, oh sweet. I didn't see this one before. I got another one for 50% off any regular priced item, which is really cool. Put that up here on the desk so I don't lose that. I've been wanting to go back and get another, like my whip cart, like a 3-tier cart. I use it as the checkout. I use it as a whip cart. I use it as the checkout stand at the craft shows. Derek made me a checkout stand, but it takes up so much room, like in the car and everything, that it's just like it's too much. And so I took the checkout stand to one craft fair and used it for leggings, for like the LuLaRoe leggings, and it worked out really well. It's like it kind of stuck out that way, everyone could kind of see, and then there was like 3 shelves for the different sizes. It was really handy, so I would like to get another one of those to be able to take like for the leggings, and then I don't know. So anywho, and still have a checkout stand, I guess. So all right, so that's what we did. It was a lot of fun. We didn't really do a whole lot of other shopping. Lisa, we went to Vintage Stock, and I got a one of my favorite comedy specials that I can't ever find anywhere. It's like really obscure and really, really, really difficult to find. Like I can't even find it on Amazon. It's like it doesn't exist on Amazon, and I'm like, I promise you it wasn't a fever dream. Like I quote a million things from that thing. My husband quotes a million things. Like I promise we were there together. It happened. And so we go in Vintage Stock or whatever, and I'm looking, and one of the employees was like, can I help you? And I told them what I was looking for, and they're like, yeah, we don't have that. Like the other store has it. And I'm like, okay, but there are 2 of them. Like, is it the one? And he's like, no. I was like, dadgummit. He's like, it's the other one. I'm like, of course. And so I'm like just looking through the movies, and I hear Derek over there talking to the employee, and he's like, the 2 employees were talking, and the one guy's like, yeah, he's like, I think they might have it, or they didn't have it, the one that she was wanting or whatever. And the other guy was like, I know what special she's talking about. He's like, it has a white cover on it. And I just looked over there, I'm like, oh, he's right, it does. And so I'm like just trying to keep my cool, He's like, it has a white cover on it. He's like, you need to call back, and he's like, and see like if they have one with the white cover on it. He's like, because it'll be 2 different things. It's really weird how they did this comedy special. So anyway, yeah, so like Derek overhears them talking or whatever, and the guy's like, I'm telling you, this is the one. He's like, because whatever, he's like, it has to be. He's like, it's hard to find, it's whatever, it's very rare. And so Derek walks over, and he's like, I can look at it and tell you exactly which one. And the dude flips the screen around, and he's like, that one. And anyways, and sure enough, the one with the white cover, and the guy's like, see, I told you. He's like, call back and see if they have that one. So the guy calls back or whatever, and sure enough, they had 1 copy. And I was like, stop it, no way. And I was so excited. And so Derek's like ready to like drop everything and drive 2 hours to go get it. And the guy's like, we can mail it to you for less than $10 total, like shipping included. And I was just like, yes please, because it's like a $2 DVD. And I was like, yes please. And so I was so excited. So I have no idea when it's gonna get here, but sometime. And so anyway, yeah, I was so excited. So we did that. Squirrely Dan had to work, which was really lame. It is what it is. He's out of school. He's grown. You know what I mean? He doesn't really get to go on homeschool trips anymore, I guess. Sometimes, but not all the time. Anyway, and so he didn't get to go. But I said, yeah, we went to Crystal Bridges, which was the art museum. It is the coolest. It's so neat there. I could spend hours in there. But I also can't walk around that much, so there's that. But it was so cool. And so we went, and it was kind of different though. So we did it as like homeschool day. Like I said, I got a little email or whatever, and it's like free. We'll give you lunch, all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's amazing. Okay. Because it's kind of pricey to get into it, which it's a museum. It makes sense. And so, like it's not really pricey if there's just one or two of you, but times 5, it adds up, kind of like going out to eat. And so it's like, okay, that sounds cool just because like it's free, it's a homeschool thing. The way it sounded in the email, because I was gonna make the kids like find their favorite painting, like pick that artist, take like a little picture maybe even of like the name of the painting, the artist, and then like be able to research that painting and more about it and what they thought about it, why they did it, all of those things. And that was my plan going in. And then on the little sheet it said that they were going to have like a scavenger hunt, they were going to have riddles, have like an interactive thing and all this stuff, and be able to go into the art room and be able to like create things. And I'm like, okay, then cool, I don't even have to do a lesson plan, they're doing it for me. That's awesome sauce. So we get there, everything starts at 9:30. It's a ways from us, so we got up early. We got up so early I didn't get to make my coffee. That's like point 1. So I would have like had time to take a cup with me, I guess, but it's not the same. It's like that sip of your coffee mug. Some of you know what I mean. So anyway, so didn't have coffee. I was like, we'll stop, whatever. We didn't have time to stop from what we thought. We didn't have time to stop. So it was like, just forget it. Let's just go. So we get there and we have like 30 minutes of just literally like standing/setting time, and I was like, we should have stopped at Casey's and got everyone something to drink, and Derek's like, yeah. And so we just kind of stood there waiting and waiting and waiting, and in the description it also says that we get to tour Frank Lloyd Wright's house. And I was just like, oh, that's so cool, because I love Frank Lloyd Wright. In my hometown, he has a building that he built that is just, ever since I was little, I've like been enamored with that building. It's so cool. All of his architecture is just chef's kiss, top tier, so neat. I love just how it looks. It's so cool, just the whole design, layout, everything. So I was so excited to go see this house that he had designed. So we get there and there's like nowhere at all, because it's like you'll sign up for that upon arrival. There's nowhere at all to sign up. There's nowhere to do like anything at all like that. So I'm like, what do we do? I guess afterwards we just get to go. All right, whatever, because it's like everyone's just standing there. They my purse is the backpack, the Damsel in Defense backpack, so I just had it. I had my wallet, and that was really all that I had in there. They were having people, like, if they had backpacks or like water or anything at all like that, leave it. I was like, okay, surely they're gonna put it like somewhere safe, because it's like people's things. They just left it out in the middle of the hallway, like this little rack of like people's bags and just all this stuff, and just left it out. Like, just, I saw 2 different people's things just scooted and then left, and that was it. And so I was just like, I'm just gonna have my purse, because that's all that it is. So it's like I put it on one shoulder and just like carried it on one shoulder, and they didn't say anything, everything was fine. So we go in, and like our tour guide comes up to us and she's like, hi y'all, we're gonna look at 4 paintings today. And we're like, what? And she's like, we're gonna walk around and look at 4 paintings, and we're gonna go up, and she's like, in the first one you guys are gonna tell me what you think it's about. And the second one, and that's what we did. The first one we went up, and like she went around and like asked like, what's one word that you see when you look at this painting? Didn't it all like talk about the artist or like what their interpretation of the painting was? Just ask the kids like, each one. So, okay, also, not only have I not had coffee, they split everyone into 2 groups. So there's like elementary, middle school, high school, okay? And never the two shall meet. You know what I mean? Those are 2 completely separate things, I feel like. So, anywho, okay. So, she's like going around or whatever and is asking each kid, like, what's one thing that you think of the painting? And so we're like, all right. So we did that, and it's like, you know, what else are we looking at? So then we go to the next painting, and it's like this cube that rotates, and there's like a, he's like, Human One is what it was called, by the artist Beeple, which is really funny because that's one of the nicknames that we gave to Finn whenever he was just teeny tiny. And I'm like, are you not telling me, like, that you're an actual, like, legitimate artist in, you know, a museum? Like, why have you kept this from me, child? It was really funny. So anyway, yeah, but it was just like a spinning, rotating thing with like a astronaut looking dude like walking around, and then the scenes changed. And so they went around and they're like, okay, we're gonna do like a story. We're gonna start with the story, and you guys make a story of what you think is going on. And so it was like kids going around being like, the man had like, it was very that. And I'm just like, okay, like, I feel like there's something else, because I'm like, I love to make a lesson plan, and it's like, I feel like there's something else we could be doing right now. Like, there's so many insanely cool pieces of artwork that we are just walking past. So I'm just like, all right, it's cool, it's cool, it's whatever. So we go around or whatever, and then they're like, you know, what are some things that you guys, you know, think that is possibly happening in this picture or whatever, and all that stuff. And so then we go to another painting, and it's like these people, like 2 men and then 2 women, like on their shoulders, and they're all at the beach. The 4 of them are at the beach. Same thing. They're like, what do you get from this? And everyone's like, they're at the beach. Like, well, what do you see? You know, like, it's a painting. Anyways, and so she starts like kind of talking about that artist a little bit, and about like kind of what that painting meant, and then just kind of goes off on something completely different. We're like, okay. And so and then our very last painting, it's like we go all through like the whole museum just to look at these 4 paintings. We're just like scooting past like famous artists and their work, and just like, anyway. And our last one was Rosie the Riveter, Norman Rockwell, which made so much sense because that's such a cool one. Like the one that's like, not like the Yes We Can thing, but like the one of like actual Rosie the Riveter, where she's sitting there and she's got like a turkey sandwich and like her rivet thing or whatever, and she's like got a turkey sandwich, and she's looking off like a total like bad A, like into the distance, just like looks so cool. I love that one. That one struck me whenever we went the first time, and so we talked a little bit about that painting, which was cool. And then they're like, okay, now we're gonna go to the art place, and we're like, yes. And B is stoked because I feel like y'all know this. B is the artist. B's like, yes, I can't wait, so excited to go do some sort of art something. So I'm thinking that they're gonna be like, okay, those 4 paintings that we looked at, take something, like do it in your interpretation or something to that effect. No, we go in this room, and they're like, all right, everyone, it's 10:30. Actually, it was like 10:15. Like, it's 10 whatever. At 11:30, we're gonna have lunch. And they're like, you guys can feel free to either go out and like the yard part and play cornhole and look at the water, or you guys can stay in here and we have some drawing or some art pieces, some paper, really, that you guys can color. And so because Annie Leibovitz was the like featured artist, you could color with colored pencils, a Polaroid camera, and then you were supposed to be able to make like another little picture, and then it makes it look like it's coming out of the Polaroid camera. It's like a selfie thing, but they didn't have the other piece to make it a selfie thing, so they just had the Polaroid camera that you could color. And then they had a little piece that was like 8 little like clipboard things, like if you were gonna make a comic book or something, like a story type thing. And they're like, here you go. You guys have an hour and 15 minutes to color with colored pencils. And I just look at Derek and I'm like, I feel like this is for the elementary kids, right? Like, surely this isn't for us. But no, it was for high school kids. And a lot of them were just standing around because they're like, are you kidding me right now? Like, we do way more in-depth things, you know, what the heck. Some people drove 4 hours to get to this. I would just like to say that too. So I'm like, okay, great. So we just sat there, and it was like the most boring time ever. And I'm like, what if we just leave? Like, we don't even have to really hang out, because they wouldn't let us go anywhere. Like, once we were in the group, like, if you had to use the restroom, the whole group had to like walk with you to the restroom and like stay there. It was very bizarre. It's like, we're grown, we can do it, I got it, it's okay. And like, we came in at one point, like the very first photo, and there was a grandma that brought her grandbabies, and she needed to use the restroom. And so, you know, like you do, she didn't have to like, hi, I need to whatever. And so she doesn't know, so she just goes to use the restroom. Whole tour stops, everyone skirts right where they are. Our lady like leaves and like goes and gets her and is like, you can't leave, you can't leave. And she's just like, why not? The bathroom's right there. And they're like, nope, you have to stay with the group. It was very weird. So I don't know what that was about, but it was like we had to like whatever, which I understand, but also it's an art museum. People roam freely throughout the whole time, you know. We could have found her. Anyway, so yeah, we're just sitting in there with colored pencils, and the kids are just like drawing little scribbles, and it's not even like there's any direction. Like I said, it was like, it had been different. It was like, okay, go off of this thing that we just looked at and talked about and discussed, and now make your own thing from it. So I'm like, all right, cool. So do that. Whatever. 11:30 gets there. I told them that there were going to be 4 of us, and they're like, cool, we have you down for 3 lunches. And I was like, that's about right. All right, cool. Which, I mean, like I said, I can't really, you know, eat anything without getting sick anyway. So I was like, all right, fine. So they all go through, get their lunches, all that stuff. I had like a little bit of like a hummus thing, and then obviously got sick, you know the deal. But yeah, so like we're sitting there eating. It was like, okay, now what? Still hadn't had that coffee. So Derek's like, since you got hosed at lunch, he's like, I'm gonna go see if they have coffee, because he's like needing a cigarette break. They're not letting us leave. He's like, I don't care. He's like, we're all just sitting here, no one's doing anything. He's like, it's been almost 2 hours of everyone just sitting and waiting for nothing to happen. He's like, I'm going to have a cigarette and I'm gonna get you a coffee. And I was like, score. So he goes, comes back with a coffee, and I'm like, yes, I'm so excited. So I take like 3 sips of my coffee or whatever, and then they come out and they're like, okay, like you guys can, at this point it was like, you guys can go and like roam freely through the art museum. And I'm like, where's Frank Lloyd Wright's house? Like, when do we get to see that? And that was like never mentioned, never was whatever. Like I said, there weren't sign-ups. One other girl was like, we're gonna go see Frank's house though, right? And it was just like nothing. So I don't know what happened there. And then because it said like at the front it's like get your tickets, but that was like if you were just at the museum, like, you know, you would normally, like a paying customer would go in and get your ticket for the museum, get your ticket for the house, all of those things. So I'm like, what is happening? So like, you guys can just go do whatever. So they're like, okay. So we like walk 4 feet, and a guard's like, skirt, and he's like, you can't bring that coffee in here. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I mean, which like makes sense, don't get me wrong, but it was like, you know, after all of the rest of it, after like literally like 2 hours of just like nothingness and all of that. So I'm like, all right, like I'm not throwing it away, I'm gonna have a seat, which worked out anyways because I was exhausted. And so I sat down, they went on through, and then they were like, where'd she go? Because the guy just like stops me, and I'm like trying to tell them, like my hubby and the kiddos, and they like keep walking, and the guy's just sitting there looking at me like not at all like, hey guys, like, you know, she can't come in, like doesn't tell them at all. So I'm just like, all right, cool. So I go sit down, drink my coffee. There's an opera singer upstairs, the acoustics are top shelf, so I got to hear all that. That was pretty cool. So then like 3 minutes later, Derek comes back and he's like, are you okay? He's like, you know, are you getting sick? And I was like, no. I was like, he won't let me come back in there with my coffee. And Derek's just like, oh, okay. And so I'm like, I don't want to waste it, because, you know, it was like a $3 coffee, and I was like, I don't want to waste it. So I drank most of it, and then it was like, all right, I'm gonna throw it away. So then we like finally go in, are looking at the art, all of those things, like, then I'm like, okay, we're gonna do it like we would have done it before. So I want y'all to go around, take everything in, your very favorite thing we'll go back to, take a picture of not the painting, take a photo of the little bitty plaque next to it that has the artist's name and the painting, and we're going to come back and we're going to discuss that. Like Monday, that's going to be our lesson. And so that's what we're doing tomorrow, as among other things, trust me. Many other things in there, but also I had to have that because it was like, I don't feel like they learned anything while we were there. So anyway, they had a really cool mirror room though that the kids went in. That was really neat. They walked in and it was like all these like kind of spinny disco globes and then mirrors, and they thought that was pretty cool. So but yeah, so we go in or whatever, I get sick again. And so I'm like, what are we doing? And anyway, everyone was just like, let's go, like, because it wasn't what anyone thought. The kids were bored to tears, like ridiculously. They even said that at one point, like, I thought we were going to do something like fun, and I said B was so excited about going in the art room because it's usually, like, last time we went it was locked, like closed up and stuff, and so we were like so excited about getting to go in there and have like some sort of interactive art experience. And it was just like, here's your sheet, color, I don't care. And that lady just like went and sat on her phone the rest of the time. I was just like, cool. And so, yes, it was free, but I guess you get what you pay for, because yeah, it was just like, what in the world? And then, like I said, the ones that they showed us were very different. That's what Derek's like, I wonder if they're trying to send us some kind of message, just because of like the ones that we did see, it was just, they were kind of different. The 4 that they chose, they were not at all the 4 coolest ones in there by any means. Like Rosie the Riveter was pretty top shelf, don't get me wrong, but otherwise it was really bizarre. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know, but anyway, so yeah, it was different. So we left a little bit earlier than I think, I don't know, I was saying that we were supposed to, but I don't know what the heck we were supposed to do, honestly. It was like a whole lot of just, okay, here you go now. And it was like, it's supposed to be homeschool days, and then they had public school kids, and so they were just like kids like mixing in with whatever, and like homeschool kids couldn't sit down to have their lunch because there were just like all these other little kids everywhere, and it was just like, it was very ill planned. I don't know. So I'm not sure. I asked them if they want to go back next year, and they're like, yeah, I don't know, which was a real bummer. But I'm hoping before very long that we get to go back, because I really want to see the Annie Leibovitz thing. And then also they're having like in the forest part where we walked, because it's like I think 5 miles of trail or some craziness like that. So wheelchair, yes. Like where you walk through the outdoor part, they're having like a light up, I forgot what it was called, but it's some artist that came in and like did just lights everywhere, and it's just like, I feel like it's gonna look like a fairy garden, and so I really want to go back and do that before that artist isn't there also. So hopefully before very long we'll make it back. But yeah, it wasn't quite what any of us thought it was going to be. So I thought it could have been a lot more interactive. I felt like we were in the elementary group the whole entire time. It was like, these kids are, not even just my kids, but like all the homeschool kids. Like, these kids are very bright. The one family traveled 4 hours to get there. I told Derek, I was like, can you imagine? He was like, no. So all that for a turkey sandwich and 4 photos, or 4 paintings. Not even paintings. I guess the one was just a cube, like a digital cube. Anyway, did that, left early, because it was just like, this is cray. Left early. So then we went to Joann and to Vintage Stock, as you do, I had my doctor's appointment yesterday in a different town, and I know Saturday is a weird day for a doctor's appointment, but that's when they scheduled it. And so I met my mom. Like I said, she gave me some yarn, all of that stuff, so that was cool. So I'll have more things to show you tomorrow. But yeah, I don't know. It was different, to say the least. But I had fun just because, it was family time. I wish Squirrely Dan would have been with us, but otherwise, like I said, it was fun. It just wasn't quite what we expected, I suppose. Anywho, so yeah. There was something else I was going to tell you, but I don't remember now. I really don't. Wasn't that important, I guess. So yeah, so as far as yarn, again, like I said, yeah, dinosaurs, frogs, which I'm very excited about. I'm ready to get this bear done so that way I can work on a frog, because how cool is that? Just that glittery yarn, and I think it's going to be okay to work with. And then yeah, teddy bears, chicken nuggets, all of those things. I have a craft fair on the 30th of this month, one on November 4th, one on November somethingeth, I don't know, the week before Thanksgiving. As far as October, I'm not sure if I have any or not. I don't know. Like I said, I like doing them, but it's a lot of work, and it's been wearing me down a lot more lately than it was at first, so I'm not sure how it's gonna go. So yeah, anywho, so I'm still just like prepping and things. I have a crochet ramblings that I need to make for you all, because I have been making amigurumi, like it's going out of style, and so I need to bring those to you all so that way you guys can see some of the things I make before I put them in the crochet bins, like the craft fair bins. But yeah, otherwise I don't know, it was different. I said I'm not sure what happened, if like just things changed completely once we all got there or whatever. I don't really know what it was, but like I said, from the schedule I had, it was a completely different day than what we did for sure, so I don't know. It sounded like a lot of fun. But then yeah, so it was a lot of just sitting there and waiting, like I said, and then just coloring, and then they had a giant chess set and they went and played with that for like 30 minutes or something, and I'm just like, okay, like just killing time, you know? So anywho, yeah. So I'm not sure if we do it again, but I will say, if you are anywhere around that area, definitely check out Crystal Bridges, because it is next level amazing. Just, you know, I don't know about that whole event again, but as a whole, it's the coolest. Like I said, we really want to go again, so, and do the outdoor thing, and then and like the Annie Leibovitz deal is going to be there until January, so fingers crossed. Also, please don't forget, I said look and see, I don't know, it might be on sale online. I should have done that before I made this video, I guess, but I said yeah, the Bernat, all of Bernat yarn except for the big like extra was on sale at Joann, so y'all might want to check if you want to check. It's up to you. Said I should have looked before this. Usually whenever stuff's on sale online or in stores, it is online also. Like I said, Big Twist was like $2 something, so it's a pretty good deal. But yeah, so yarn sales, art, chicken nuggets. That's pretty much what this one's about, I guess. So yeah, I will be back tomorrow with either more yarn or crochet ramblings. We shall see which one falls into place. The other one will probably be on Tuesday. I need to get crochet and tell out to you all very soon, and also I am prepping for Crochet-tober, because it will not be long, my friends. So I've been looking at costumes and fun ways to do my hair, and I'm so excited. So Crochet-tober is fast approaching, my friends. I need to get our little intro made and all that stuff. I'm so excited. Thought about using the same one from last year. I might do that. So, alright. So, I thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderfully, wonderfully blessed day. Please stay safe, and I will talk to you all very soon.